Just like any new cell phone, you want to protect the screen before you scratch this thing. I just got this iPhone 16 Pro, and the last thing I want to do is scratch up that screen. And it's very simple, very cheap to install these screen protectors. I'm going to unbox this one. I'm going to show you the contents that come in this kit, and I'm going to do the full installation on this 16 Pro. I've got everything that comes in the kit laid out on the table. We'll talk about each piece individually. First thing is the glass that you're going to get. So you get 3 pieces of glass in this kit. I took one out so you can see this. They show that this is the back piece. You get 3 of those in case you don't do the installation correctly, or in case you crack one, you'll have 2 more spares. They do give you enough of the wet and dry wipes, 1 for each screen protector there. You get the guide stickers, and you get what they call the dust absorber. That's just to take some dust off the screen in case you missed a piece as you go to line that up. You're going to get this alignment tool. Anytime they offer a kit with an alignment tool, highly recommend that. It's a lot easier to get that glass aligned. A set of instructions come with it right here. We're going to follow that pretty much step by step, and I'll walk you through that on the video. And then they give you just some information here talking about a little bit of warranty information and what they call it's a halo effect that could be created around the edges of your screen, depending on if that screen or the case of your phone is bent from the factory, or if you've been carrying your phone maybe in your pocket and you didn't put this on right away when you purchased it. Everything is on the table for one screen to be installed on this phone. So you're going to need that one screen protector there. You've got one set of the wet wipes and dry wipes. You've got the guide stickers, and you've got the alignment tool. On the instructions, this is how we're going to follow this. I'm going to hold this up to the camera, so if you're wanting to pause this, and you can see exactly the steps we're going to follow. They've got it steps 1 through 3, and then they've got steps 4 through 6 on this side, and then they talk about step 7 as the last step there. But I will walk you through each one of these steps in the video. On this step, we're going to take the wet wipe, open up that cloth, and you're just going to clean the screen as best you can, and pay attention all the way up to these edges. This phone doesn't have a case on it right now, but if you did, for this installation tool, they recommend taking the case off so you can wrap around the edges of the phone there. So you really want to get this thing clean as you can, check everywhere around these edges, make sure there's no fingerprints or anything. And this is like an alcohol type wipe. Go ahead and clean that completely. You'll notice that some of the liquid is still on the phone, so you're going to take the dry wipe and you're going to wipe that off until the phone face is completely dry. Remember, you want to go across all those edges all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom there. And remember, if you did have a phone case, it's recommended that you take that off so you're cleaning this completely. Now that the phone is dry, if you did notice there's any dust or anything left on there, you would use this dust absorber right here. Just by peeling this and hold this section right here, and you would just dab around the phone anywhere that you may see a piece of dust or a piece of lint that maybe got on the phone. So if you see that anywhere, and you don't want to really press to stick this down, you're just trying to lift any of the dust that you see on the phone before you go on to put the screen protector on. We're now ready to put the alignment tool on. And in this case, it does have a section that says top right here. So you want to make sure that you line that up with the top of the phone, and you should be able to snap this on. Remember how I mentioned, if you do have a case on the phone, this is going to be the point where you would want to have that case off. So this can align all the way to the edges so you can center up that screen protector. These 2 stickers right here are your guide stickers. So you're going to peel these off, and you want to put these on the front part of the glass and angle them in a way where you can still get to this to lay it down in. This is the back part, and it's labeled here that that's the back. So get your guide stickers, and you want to make sure that you kind of smooth those out so they're stuck to the glass and they're not going to come off, and that's going to help you when you go to lay this down into the template. Now that we've got the guide stickers on the glass and we've got the alignment tool on the phone, you want to double check that there's no additional dust or anything that got onto the phone surface. If there is, you may want to use that dust absorber one more time. If you notice underneath the phone, I do have a piece of felt. You want to have a rag or a piece of felt on the table so your phone isn't rocking back and forth when you go to apply that glass. You're now ready to peel the backing off the glass. Remember that this is the back section. You want to peel this slowly as to not touch any of the adhesive surface of that glass. Once you have that peeled off, now you can hold the glass by your guide stickers. You're going to line it up with this assembly tool here. It should center that up in the phone. Then you can drop it down and make sure all edges, and you can see how it pretty much kind of aligns itself. You want to let it try to get some of the air bubbles out yourself, and then you're going to just press gently on these areas and kind of walk that smooth until all of the air escapes out. You may have some parts here on the edges that once we take the alignment tool off that you'll have to press down on, and that's okay. Before I take the alignment tool off, I'm going to take that dry wipe and go back over the screen a little bit here and push out as much of that air before I take this alignment tool off. I have the alignment tool off now, and we're going to smooth around all of these edges to make sure that it is secure. You may have some small air bubbles like this, and it could take up to 24 hours for that to go away. If it doesn't, you may want to reapply this or put another screen cover on there. Just double check that your phone is not bent or anything in those areas. I've smoothed out all the edges on the glass, and like I mentioned, give this about 24 hours before any of the air bubbles that may still be present to go away. You want to retain this alignment tool for those other two pieces of glass that you have, so don't throw this away and keep the remaining in the box. That completes this glass screen protector installation on an iPhone 16 Pro by Alan. I'm going to have links in the description below in case you're interested in products like this after watching this installation video. Hopefully this information was useful or helpful for you, and if it was, please subscribe and share, and that's to the point.